How long did you do that for?
A year. Till the cabin fell in on us. And I decided to go get gainful employment at the local furniture factory for mobile homes.
Okay.
Buy new furniture if you move in a mobile home. That stuff's, I used to make it. I know what it's made out of. And it actually took these 2 fingers off of me, the bandsaw. That was right out of high school after Mississippi. Down in Mississippi is where that occurred. And that's what initiated me wanting to go to college. I go, I am not going to work in a factory again. The first job I had in a factory was a textile mill. Oh, I got to tell you about my jobs. But my first textile job, first good paying job, was at a textile mill. And I was a dolpher, which y'all, textiles are archaic, gone, and not here anymore. But it's the guy that takes the spools off after they've emptied in the looms.
Okay.
And I'm on that line, and here comes a fingers. Just 2 fingers rolling down the line. I'm going.
But not your fingers.
Dolphin. No, not my fingers. So, anyway, kind of brings me back. I got a job where I lost my fingers.
I was gonna say
factory, loss of fingers. I'm not gonna do it. I'm gonna go to college.
So which one came first? The losing your fingers or seeing someone else's fingers?
Seeing someone else's fingers
was first, and then you went somewhere and lost your fingers.
Yeah. Man,
who sewed your fingers back on?
A veterinarian. Let me tell y'all, this is cool. I'm in Mississippi, cutting what's called glue rail. 2 2x4s glued together in cheap furniture to make a 4x4. And I'm working on, they give me a template, and I have a bandsaw.
Yeah. Industrial
bandsaw. This thing's got a blade that goes to heaven, back down to hell, and comes back around. And it goes, takes about 10 minutes to get up to 94 frickin' thousand RPMs. And they gave us 1 blade a week. Well, come blade change day, I would have to be leaning into that saw, following my pattern. And I was leaning into that saw, following my pattern. It was right at break time. My supervisor had already put his hand on my shoulder to tell me it was break time. And when his face got splattered with blood, that glue rail split. My fingers went into it. I lost this finger and this finger. And where they were on the saw, or one of them was hanging. And he jerked me back, and that actually saved that. If you look at the track of the bandsaw, the way I was pushing, that bandsaw would have gone up right up through my arm, and I wouldn't be here. So, and you know, my luck, and this is an ongoing thing in the story of my life, is the strangest things happen to me. You know, no doctor in town. He's on vacation. He says, well, I'm taking you to the vet because he's watching the doctor's patients. And I go, a veterinarian? I need to go to, this is in Tupelo, Mississippi. This is in Fulton, Mississippi. I said, we need to go to Tupelo. You know, you ever heard of Elvis? Anyhow, his town, it was bigger. It ain't big, but it was bigger. More than one stoplight, let's put it that way. And the vet said, I mean, I'm freaking out. I about took my life at 18 there, because I had been living in the wilderness for a year.
Well, you were probably like 20 by then.
No, I was 19.
Okay.
And had not seen a woman or a girl or had a date in a year. 19, hormones going through the roof, and I had a date that next night after I put my hand through the bandsaw. And, you know, on the way to the vet or doctor, I was sitting there holding my fingers on. I took that finger off the bandsaw and put it on there and just held it up against there, hoping it'd kind of like go back together. So I'm sitting there holding my fingers and thinking, oh my God, I have a date tomorrow night. And then it all came back. The guy that used to fill up my dad's vehicle back when they pumped your gas, he was missing 2 of his fingers. And I thought it was so gross, he just had nubs. And I'm going, I'm gonna be the nub guy. This girl's never gonna want to, no girl's ever gonna wanna date me. And so I was gonna jump out of the car while it was going. But I couldn't let go of my hand because it's holding my fingers on it. Like, what kind of sense does that make? So I couldn't even jump out of the car because I'm trying to keep my fingers on my body. Anyway, we get there, and the vet, he goes, well, I'll do this, but you can't tell anybody. All right, y'all, that doesn't happen today.
Yeah.
Y'all have sued people so much that another person can't help another person.
This is true.
All right, so, but anyway, he sewed my fingers on, and he did a great job, except for one little thing. On this finger, that finger, when I tickle it, it's like you're slamming it with a hammer. When I slam it with a hammer, it feels like I'm tickling it. So he just got one nerve messed up on one of my fingers, and that's pretty good.
We ended with
Mississippi story.
cut your fingers off.
And that's how I'll tell you, that's kind of like the story of my life, what happens when things like that happen.
Right.
Which I'll get into right
You're
now.
like, okay, so that's what led me to go to college.
Yep.
Okay.
I haven't said that yet, right?
You did say that.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So what was the process?
Well, the process was, you may have to cut this out because I'm not sure if I said it before, but I applied to many colleges. Nobody would take me. Mm-hmm. My sister, my older sister, was going to school at Auburn. And so I said, well, dumb Alabama college, they'll probably let me in because I'm a South Carolina fan or a Clemson fan. I ain't no Auburn fan. But, you know, I'll go anywhere, get a degree. And so, and they wouldn't take me. They actually had higher entrance requirements than the other colleges I went to. And so it was just a no-go. And my sister said, you're a legacy. I said, I know I'm a legacy. They still not going to take me. She said, no, a legacy means that if one of your direct family members currently attends the university, they have to let you try. Well, I took my entrance examinations, and they kind of revealed that I could not read, write, multiply, or divide. So they like shake their head and they go, they didn't say it out loud, but I knew what they were thinking. This is one dumb butt boy. And so anyway, they had to. So they gave me classes like, y'all all started, if you've gone to college, you start with 101. Well, I took English 100, which is how to read, write, read and write, grammar, spelling, that type of stuff.
Yeah.
On the math end of things, it started with addition, subtraction, multiplication, division, fractions. Just the same stuff you should have learned in
third
school.
grade. Right.
I didn't know any of it.
Yeah.
And then history, I always liked history, so I wasn't that behind in that. Science, I kind of like science, so I wasn't that behind in that. But for some reason, they think being able to spell and to do math is important, so had to learn all that. And bottom line is, I had been through quite a bit with my factory jobs. I was not going back there. So I had resolve in my life. And the first thing I did when they accepted me at Auburn was I went to the Honor Society and I asked them, how does a dumb person graduate college? And they said, they gave me the right answer. Nobody's a dumb person unless they don't know how. I go, so you know how? They said, it's all in this pamphlet. This is like a trifold, okay? Yep. And it goes, for every hour of class, you have to study 3. First, I had to learn what study meant. I had never done that before. And so I did it. And I actually made, this is so weird, went from being a C- student, and a lot of those C- came from the Fs I got, but I actually made Dean's List for 2 years, my freshman year at college and my sophomore year. So that actually helped me realize I wasn't dumb. It's just that if you know how to do anything or learn how to do anything, you can do it. And the problem was I learned math, and so I did the numbers, and after my sophomore year, I said, I can goof off the whole rest of the time I'm here, do road trips, the beach, everything, and graduate. Wrong. The grades went down a little faster than they should have, and I got put on academic suspension, and then later got put on, it's been nice having you here, but don't come back. But I just kept having flashbacks in my mind of the factories. Fingers. And I go, shit. So I took what I had been taught with grammar and with English and report writing and how to write business letters, and I wrote the dean a letter telling him how everything was going to change, that I had sold my car, and I did sell my car. Now, I didn't tell him in that letter that I bought another car. I also told him I had moved close to campus, and therefore had to walk to class, even though I had another car. And they actually took me back in and got my GPA up again. But in college, eventually what happened was I was on my 7th year of my 4-year degree, because I worked my way through, y'all. I worked 2 jobs and went to college the whole time in order to pay for my schooling, because I had pissed my parents off so bad by flunking out of 4 different colleges, which they paid for, that they weren't going to pay for anything but my room and my board and my food Thank God they did that. But I worked my way through.
Man, that's not what. I feel like I got kind of ripped off because I only got to flunk out of one college. And
You were ripped off.
I was completely cut off.
It's called the computer. If Auburn would have had a computer, they would have gone, there's no legacy for people that lie and are just scum of the earth. But anyway, you know, it all worked out fine until I get a letter two quarters before I'm graduating that they're going to increase graduation requirements. And I go, what? My GPA is currently where it is under the current requirements for me to be able to graduate. If those new requirements come into effect, I will not be able to get my degree. I will have to go for another 2 years. 9 years to get a 4-year degree. So, I go to my dean. I learned all my people skills. I always had my people skills. And I went to my dean, and he was an interim dean, Dr. Horton. He's a customer today. And Trent didn't believe me. This is probably one of the first stories.
Yep.
First, I don't know if he believed anything I told him from Mississippi.
Yeah.
But anyway, I went to the dean and I said, look, I got to take 26 quarter hours. And if I don't graduate, I have to go for another 3 or 4 more years. And like I was a fixture. Everybody at Auburn knew Jeff. I had been there forever. Well, it looked like I was going to, unfortunately, maybe continue, but I asked him and he said, Jeff, that's the craziest thing anyone has ever had the nerve to ask me. And if you're crazy enough to ask me that, I'm crazy enough to let you try. And so he let me try, and y'all, I had to take biochemistry. See, you got to learn a little something about Jeff. He's intuitive. He's very, not intuitive, he's very adaptive.
Okay.
And so I had, many years earlier, learned how to sign my advisor's signature.
Oh, okay.
And so I had been writing my own schedule for college. And not necessarily going by what was requirements for the pre-requirements for certain classes, that and the other. I was just rubber stamping whatever I wrote with my signature.
Interesting.
Or my forgery of his signature.
Okay.
Her signature. And, God, she's probably going to find out about this. They'll probably take my degree. But anyway, and who cares? But anyway, where was I going?
So you had like way over the amount of hours you're supposed to take.
I had way over the amount of hours I had to take, but I still had prerequisites for when I was a biology major, when I was a engineering major, while I was a...
Because you tried all the schools.
Sure, till I found an easy one, business. All right, or at least one that fit me. And so to graduate, I had to take Harvard Business Review, biochemistry, that math that goes with bio classes, biology classes.
I don't know.
Anyway.
I didn't take any biology classes.
Had to take, anyway, all the hardest classes I had been putting off.
Right.
Were in that quarter. And so, you know, that quarter went by, and the whole time I'm going, Dr. Horton was right. There's no way anybody could do this. But I gave it my try, and then I figured, you know, I would be able to get some idea what grades I was going to make before my entire family comes down to see me graduate. Mom, grandma, dad, sisters, everybody's down there to watch Jeff graduate. And Jeff knows he's not going to graduate. Call the bursar's office, and I go, I need to know ahead of time, because I was going to pull a Mississippi. I was going to leave Dodge and disappear. And guess what? They said, don't worry about it. We haven't gotten your grades yet. I said, it's an hour before graduation. I need to know now. We still haven't heard any word. And I go, there goes plan B. So I go down there. They say, if you don't graduate, you will get a piece of paper.
Okay.
Certificate of attendance. I got plenty of those. I don't need any more of those. But anyway, I don't know what happened. I'm almost sure all my teachers were just tired of seeing that same face, that same troublemaker all around campus. And let's just get rid of him. Let's give him a degree. I think that's what they did. Because I graduated.
Yeah.
I have a sheepskin. It's on the wall in there.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, woohoo.
So you graduated.
I did.
And grandma and mom and dad all got to watch?
Yep, everybody got to watch, and there was a big celebration.
Okay. And then you set off to do what?
I set off to, I graduated in personnel management and industrial relations.
Okay.
So set off to be what I studied. So I got a short stint with a corporation as a personnel manager.
Okay.
And this was back during...
Was this Kmart?
No. I'm not going to name the company because I'm about to dog them out so bad it's stupid. All right, but this is most companies back then. You know, there was, God, we had all kind of weird things going on. We had the Equal Opportunity Act, where, like, for a long time you had to hire people based on color, race, rather than qualifications, all of that. I understood it. I went to a school that was majority black. And they were definitely had been stomped on their whole lives, and some are still, but things have changed an awful lot. But anyway, they wanted me to, they took me on and they bluntly told me, we have a bunch of older legacy employees that are costing the company too much, and we need to let them go before we have to pay them all this retirement money and all that. We got to find a way. And I go, I told them, I said, are you serious? You hired the wrong guy. That's wrong. And they go, that was not a request, that was an order. And I go, well, stick that order up my butt, because this is wrong. I'm not doing wrong. And so I left that, so my job was, I don't know.
Short-lived?
8 weeks.
Okay.
Maybe. And then I get out and I go, oh, wow.
I got the degree in the wrong
7
thing.
years of college, and I ain't got nothing to do. Because all the companies that I requested jobs for were going through that mess. And watch the big corporations. I'm very leery of them. But anyway.
So who was next? Was Kmart next?
No, Kmart was started, all right, job-wise, started paper route at 7, same year I started swimming.
Okay.
Had 1 route for 2 years. My sister had 2 routes. I took over her 2 routes. I added 3 more routes, and was making good money throwing papers.
Okay.
But I could mess anything up.
What was next?
During that job, well, I got to tell you this. During that job, I had just got my driver's license 15 and in South Carolina.
Okay.
You're not supposed to drive unattended.
Okay.
Well, it's 2:30 in the morning. You think my mom and dad are up?
Okay.
So I got my little car, unattended, got in it, and I'm being very courteous. I'm riding through the neighborhood. The reason I got it, let me tell you, the reason I got a car, I was on my bike.
Okay.
And a couple of incidences happened. I was great. I mean, I was so perfect at my aim and young and accurate, and so I'd throw a paper and it'd land right on the porch. Well, a couple of things. Number one, I have this paper one day and I just toss it like crazy, and I go, perfect, it's gonna hit that door, because the guy likes to hear it hit his door, and I was running a little late. Well, about the time I released the paper, the guy opens the door and I pegged him, and he hits the ground with the end of the paper rolled up tight as a brick. By the time he gets up, I am long gone. Okay? Now, another one is I saw a robin in the yard right next to the step. I said, well, this is the first morning they're not going to get a newspaper on their step. I said, there's no way I can hit that robin. Pow! Dead as a doornail. I felt like crap. I just killed an innocent bird. So anyway, newspaper route wasn't for me. And then I got a job at Kmart.
Okay.
At 16.
Oh, okay.
And had to get my parents' permission. And I worked my way through that. That was the Walmart of the industry at the time. And they were a better company than Walmart when I was there. They let me manage every single company department in there. I was over photography department, jewelry department at one time, appliances, large appliances, small appliances, the kids part, garden center. I managed them all and increased sales in every department I ever went into. Which gets me, when I graduated, when I graduated Auburn, they offered me a job as a store manager, not a personnel manager, which is much better paying job.
Yeah.
And I said, that's great. I said, you know, I've given you all a lot of years.
Yeah.
I go, but I'm not moving. I like where I am. And they go, well, you're not working. And I go, what? And they go, no, managers don't have that choice.
So this was when you were in Auburn.
Yeah,
and
well,
you wanted
I sort of came back to Kmart.
Why'd you want to stay in Auburn?
I met this wonderful woman, my wife, Denise, and you know, it's kind of like when I married her, she pretty much told me, she said, I'll marry you, but I'm not moving anywhere with you or nothing. And then the same thing when I graduated, she said, well, I'm not moving. And she said, plus I make all the money. And that was like the truth.
Because she was in radio sales.
No. She was the first woman
South Central
ever
Bell.
to be management at South Central Bell.
I forgot, yeah. That was.
And she was such a good manager. No one had ever gotten all A's on their audits, ever, besides Denise.
I believe that.
And the guys, the good old guys, the management up above her, they didn't like it worth a flip.
Mm-hmm.
They were trying to get rid of her because she was causing them problems.
Because she was outperforming them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so they didn't like that. So anyway, eventually, in a way, they won because she gave up,
Mm-hmm.
knowing that, you know, the current way business was run back then with men always being in charge just wouldn't work. So she went into radio sales for her father-in-law, a guy some of y'all may know, Smiling Jack Smallin, worked for WJHO, radio personality, ran the radio station, and she sold advertisements for him. And that's where I met her, was through that job that she had.
Cool.
So, break.
Yeah.
How much?